right, many political pundits noted in the election night autopsies that Virginia Democrat Terry McAuliffe's infamous line, "I don't think parents should be telling schools what they should teach," was the death knell for his campaign going forward. As I discussed yesterday with Scott Rasmussen here on Washington Watch, the issue of our children's education is certainly not something that only Virginia parents care about. We've seen this concern all across America. In fact, we've been watching it and reporting on it very closely in Nebraska, because Nebraskans have made their voice heard. In fact, one parent, Jason Martinez, who we've had on the program, had discovered through the Freedom of Information Act request that Nebraska state education bureaucrats lied to parents and purposefully excluded religious groups from the sex education curriculum team. Surprise, surprise. Well, Jason spoke out, more parents got involved. And you know what? More parents need to be involved in their children's education. Do things like Jason did. Be a part of your children's education, whether or not you homeschool, you go to private school, or you're in the public school. We all have a vested interest in what's happening in America's classrooms. Well, joining me now to talk more about this is Nebraska business owner and candidate for governor in Nebraska, Charles W. Herbster. Charles, welcome to Washington Watch.
Tony, it's an honor to be on Washington Watch and be here with you today.
Let's talk about education. It's something, obviously, as a business owner, we want to see people that are able to prosper and do well in the business climate. Are you surprised at the interest that we're seeing on behalf of parents in what's happening in public education today?
One of the things I've shared is I've talked with people, and one of the things that happened with COVID, when so many students had to not be in school and be at home and go through the learning process, is to find out what's really taken place in the education systems today. But as I did more investigation, critical race theory is started at the University of Nebraska back in 2014. But of course, nobody calls the curriculum critical race theory. Right. So everybody says, well, we're not teaching it. I'm shocked and surprised a little bit, but it's not just Nebraska, it's every single state. And I think the most concerning thing to me is the policy of what we're teaching to the young people who will lead our nation in the next 100 years.
Well, the Nebraska State Board of Education really got their hands slapped by the citizens of Nebraska that found out what they were doing. They weighed in on it. 90% of the feedback from the public in Nebraska was contrary to a curriculum that was a health education standard curriculum that they were putting together that was just crazy. I mean, it was teaching kindergarten students about genders and sexual orientation, same gender family. I mean, this is kindergarten. I mean, I thought we were learning our alphabet in kindergarten. Why are we learning all this stuff about sex education?
Isn't it amazing how we've gotten away from reading, writing, and arithmetic? When I went to school, a country school in southeast Nebraska, we started with prayer. We started with reading the Bible. We started with the Pledge of Allegiance. We learned very early on to honor God, to honor our country, our founders, and to honor our flag.
Well, there's still praying going on in the classrooms, but it's preying upon the children that we see some doing with pushing these radical agendas. Now, the board has put reset. They pulled the plug on what was, I guess it was actually the second iteration of this. They pulled the plug back in, I think, September, and now they're reevaluating it and they're going to try it again. Do you expect to see a different outcome from the State Board of Education there in Nebraska?
I would say they pulled the plug because they got caught. Mm-hmm. That would be the first thing that I would say. Secondly, I hope that the policy would be to change. But I look at what happened recently with critical race theory becoming a voted issue at the University of Nebraska. I thought for sure that we would win that, but it failed. We're still teaching critical race theory at the University of Nebraska. I think the same thing may happen in Nebraska at the lower level education system unless parents band together and force the issue.
Well, we see them doing that across the country. I think part of what is propelling parents forward is as they ask questions, they see this condescending, almost arrogance.
It's arrogance.
Not on the behalf of all. So I don't want to paint all school board members and all those in the education community, because I want to see good people go into education. But parents must hold the system accountable. We just got about a minute and a half left. What should parents be doing? And speak to the parents in Nebraska.
First of all, can you believe that now we're calling parents who are involved in curriculum choices for their children terrorists? I can't help but bring that out today. Second of all, we need to get good, godly people to run for school boards, to participate, to apply the pressure, because you're right. We've got some great teachers. We have great school board members, but we don't have enough. And we need more if we're going to change the direction that's taken place.
Yeah, without question, it's going to require parental involvement, parental engagement. And quite frankly, I'm encouraged by what I see happen, because more and more parents are getting involved. And as a result, they're getting results. I mean, we saw that in Virginia this last week. Charles W. Herbster, thanks so much for joining us. Always great to be with you, my friend.
Tony, thank you. And it's great to be on Washington Watch.
All right, keep up the good work there in Nebraska.